Hello, this is Albert. I'm going to walk through some features in an upcoming version of the form software AtariAge will be using soon. We're currently running InVision PowerBoard 3.1.4. This new version is 3.2. Even though it doesn't seem like a big version number increase, InVision has actually made quite a few changes under the hood and visually to bring InVision PowerBoard kind of up to a Web 2.0 sort of look and feel, taking advantage of features in modern browsers and just cleaning up the interface quite a bit, adding a lot of features that people have been waiting for. So I'm just going to walk through some of these features so there's no surprises when this comes along pretty soon. Right now I'm sitting on the main form index. It hasn't been skinned very much as far as that goes. This is the default skin. The only thing I've done here is change the header here so it says AtariAge, just has the AtariAge logo. Everything else is stock. I'm not logged in right now, so this is what a guest would see if they're using the form software. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to skin this to match the existing skin, because the more you skin it, the more pain in the neck it is when you want to upgrade to a newer version. Although I certainly will change the colors. I'll probably change the header up here to match the regular AtariAge skin, although this stuff up here makes that kind of a pain, but we'll see what we can do. Anyway, so I'm going to log in. One of the first things they've changed here is now they have a nice pop-up login window. So I'm not going to log in as my administrator account, because then you see things that you wouldn't normally see if you're logged in as a regular user. I'll log in. Of course, you can log in with Facebook and Twitter as before, and that's actually been enhanced. The Facebook and Twitter functionality has been done a fair bit of work to increase that integration. And of course, I did not log in properly, so let's see. There, that's better. Alright, one of the first things you're going to see here is this recent gallery images hook, as they call it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this here. I was just playing around with it yesterday. The gallery module is completely new, and I'll show you that later. I may leave this in here, but just move it to the bottom of the screen here so it's not in the way, although I kind of like how the images are sitting there. You'll see one thing here, popular tags. The form software now supports tags, so when you post a new thread, you can actually add tags to it. And then if I click on one of these, it'll actually show me any threads or any content really that has, like in this case, 5200 or homebrew or beer. I do not know what 5200 homebrew beer is. So again, this is the main index. It's pretty similar as before. Nothing too exciting here. There's birthdays are shown up here. The members online is a little different than before. Not a big deal. The tabs up here for the different form applications as before. The search engine. You can do a quick search here, and you can choose which area of the form you want to search for. Forms, which would be the most common thing. We can search galleries in the blogs, downloads, etc. You can also get to the advanced search by clicking this icon. View new content has changed significantly. I'm not going to get into that right now. And this is a quick navigation, which I'll show you. This will be available on every page. You can click on this, and basically right here you see a list of all the forms. So you can quickly go to any form that you want to. So that's current events I just popped to. I'll go back to the main form index here. In addition, there's also community, there's view new content, there's just a few other handy links, and I can add more in here, which I may do at some point. Another thing that you notice, there's no longer we had a little icon next to the usernames before. That's been eliminated, so all you have to do now is hover over a username, and the little pop-up card will appear with some information about the user, and depending on how fleshed out the user is, there may be more links here. If I click on myself, oops, I didn't actually mean to click on that. If I hover over my username, there's my reputation, which I did not actually earn that. There's my current status, the group I'm in, last active. I'm not logged in right now since I'm logged in as a different user. And then, find my content if I want to see any posts or images I posted, things like that. I can PM the user directly from here. And then, friend the user, view my blog, view my gallery, and there could potentially be other icons here. So this is pretty much available anywhere you see a username. You can just hover right over it, and that'll pop up. So let me go into the 2600 form, and I would just say this is not fully optimized as far as the search engine goes and the speed. Although it seems to be running fine right now. This is actually running on the AtariAge server alongside the regular form. So this is the Atari 2600 form. You can see they added the form description underneath the header here. This is the title of the form. You'll see this follow this form. Instead of subscribing to forums and topics, you now follow them. And I can follow this form, and I can receive notification instantly, or only when not online, so I'm not getting notifications if I'm actively using the form, and daily and weekly. And you can also follow it anonymously. And the reason I give you that option is because you can click on this little icon here, and you can see everybody who is actually following that particular form. So they're really turning, they're taking some cues from Facebook, obviously. So here's the subforums as below. Here are all the threads in the forum, and you see they have added some headers here. You can actually sort recently updated by the start date of a thread. Threads with the most replies. If I click on that, now I've got all the threads with the most replies here. I mean, 1,000. Well, these are pinned, so those don't really count. But this my air raid auction update thread, almost 2,000 replies. Then followed by 1,354 replies for this thread, and so forth. So let me go back to, and then most of you can actually custom. You can actually, even go further as far as how you want to sort these, which is really nice. And they've applied this sort of thing all over the forum. So I'll go back to most recently updated, which is the default. One other thing they've done here, which is really nice, there was a previously, I should say in the current version of the software that's on the site, if you hovered over a topic title, it would pop up the preview for the thread. And some people didn't like this because it's a little intrusive if you're just trying to browse, and that might get in the way. What they've done in this version is there's a little icon right here. If you click on this icon, it'll load a couple posts from the thread, and you see how it opened up right there. So now you can read the actual post, and then you can jump right to that topic, or you can mark it as read if you're not even interested in it, and you can close it like before. Here's another one. Let's see, Legend of Zelda Atari 2600. See, you can see the first post and then the last post, so you kind of get a feel for how the thread may have evolved, and then you can click right to that topic. Before I actually jump into the topic, so I'm going to scroll down here and show one more thing. And this is the load more topics. Rather than having to go to the next page, you can just click load more topics, and then it will load the next, I believe I've got it set to 50 topics here. Oh, and there's the line, this line right here. So it loaded all these from here on down, another 50 topics, or 25, I don't know. Rather than having to refresh the page, which is nice. And they'll eventually extend this into topics when you're actually viewing topics as well, so you don't have to keep loading the page. So let me jump into one of these. I'll go into that Legend of Zelda that I was looking at a minute ago here. So this is the topic thread, or a form thread, and there's some interesting new features in here. Again, they've changed, well, they have an option for the reputation system, where previously you could just vote up or click the little up arrow for topic or threads, or not threads, posts you like. Now you can click like this, and here it says you like this. When more people like a post, hey, let me find one. I'm sure there's one here that I can, let's see, this one perhaps has a few. No, it'll be newer ones. I need to find a newer thread, because let's see, let's see. Okay, here's one where 2 people actually like the thread. So it'll show you Atarian and top 10 material, and if there's more than a few, it'll actually give you a little icon with a pop-up that will then show everybody, just kind of like this, follows topic. It would be the same sort of thing. You can see who actually liked that thread, and that's why they give you the anonymous option, for at least for following topics, so you don't have to be listed there. And you can click like this, and now it says you, Atarian 7, top 10 material like this. And I can actually make it so that you can unlike it as well. I'm not sure that I'll do that, but another nice thing they've done here is they've changed the way the multi-quote works, where you can quote several messages at the same time, and just like the little pop-up there shows, and then easily quote a few posts rather than try either making one message with several quotes or copying them manually. So I can click multi-quote, and you see this little reply to one quoted post appeared. I can click on it again, and then for this one, and then I click on reply to 3 quoted posts, and now all those quotes are down here in the quick reply. And this has actually changed quite a bit. This is a brand new editor they're using. It's a third-party editor. It's much better. The what you see is what you get mode works a lot better. and it's something InVision doesn't have to spend their time developing when someone else has already done it considerably better. So this is the default editor right here. Now if I go into more reply options, we go into the full editor, and you can see these are the quotes, posts I quoted, and then I can start typing in text right here. Yeah, I'm learning how to type. Alright, and then I can attach files as before, and I can use font. Let's say I can do font changes here as before, bold, and it shows everything as I'm doing it, of course, but it just works much better than before and should be supported across browsers a lot better. One new button here, My Media, which I won't have any in this account, but I'll have to, I'll upload an image to the gallery and show you. But basically any attachments you ever uploaded, gallery images, albums, blog entries, regular files, events in the calendar that you've added, you can quickly search all that media that you've uploaded to the forum or created in the forum, and then attach them directly to a post. And you can even search, like if you've got hundreds of images, you can search for 2600 or Darth Vader 2600 and quickly find a picture and then insert it right into a post, which is much better than before, where you would have to go into the gallery and get a link for the particular image you wanted to see a link to, and then put it in here, or attach files, which of course you can still do before. So I can, let's see, this is some stuff from the arcade. So let's see, Tron 6, I'll upload that, and then I can add the post, and let's preview. So there's the image, as you would expect. It's a Tron Legacy pinball machine that we got at the arcade about a month ago. Anyway, so nothing too exciting there. I can add this reply. One interesting thing is if you add a reply and several replies have been added while you were typing your message, you actually get a little pop-up that says there are X number of new posts. There may be 2 new posts. Would you like to see them? And it'll update the page then, which is really nice, because sometimes you may miss posts like that because your post, you'll have seen the newest one, and then 2 more people may have posted before you, but you may never see them if you didn't actually notice it. One other feature of the new editor, which is not going to be readily apparent here, is there's an autosave feature now, where if you're typing along and for some reason you refresh the browser window or you close it or whatever, if you reload that page, reopen it, it'll actually show you, there'll be a little autosave note here, and you can click on that and it'll show you your saved text, and then you can use it again, so you won't lose it, especially if you've been typing a long post, 2,000 character post, and it took you half an hour to do it. You won't lose it if you accidentally refresh the browser or something like that. So that's a nice feature as well. Another thing they've done, I'm going to go in here and start a new thread. Alright, start a new topic. Now, the topic title is the same as before. Now, tags, that's something new that I mentioned before. So I can add 2600, and you separate tags with a comma, and you can see it automatically puts them in a little box by themselves, and a little X, you can delete it right there. If you made a mistake, that looks like a bug though right there. 2600, homebrew, sorry, although that probably would not be a good tag, but just for purposes of this discussion, testing. And you can put a maximum of 10 tags in a topic. Now, here's the message text. Alright, and then one thing I did want to show you is the topic polls. This has been completely redone. It was really awkward before. They've made a nice pop-up window, self-contained little poll manager here. So, what is your favorite Atari 2600? I'll repeat that here. You could actually. So, what's your favorite? I'm going to make just 1 or 2 questions here. I don't want to do a multiple choice. Again, you can make votes public. If you make votes public, then everyone can actually see how you voted. And then I can add some entries here. So I can do 6 here. Add another choice. 4 switch. Darth Vader. Not Darth. Junior. 5200 VCS adapter, etc. And then I got another question. Let's see. What is your favorite Atari controller? And then you can do 640. And then this will certainly pop your 600 joystick. 7800 basic, 7800 keypad. Oops, I just added another question. I don't really want another question, so I can close that. Yes. Okay, now add another choice. 7800 keypad, Jaguar, and so forth. So I'm done. I don't really want anything more to that. So when I post this now, I'll post this topic, and there my poll is visible, and I can vote. So I'll say heavy sixer and CX40 vote, and of course you can see the votes. This little star here is how I voted. You can click on the view button there to see who voted for that particular choice. Okay, so that's pretty much that, and you can see the tags at the top here. Now I can click on 2600 or Homebrew because I already know there's another thread with Homebrew, so I'll click on Homebrew. I must have deleted that other thread. Oh, it's not in the search results yet because they only get updated every 15 minutes, but when that does get updated, when I click on Homebrew, it'll show this topic plus the one I just added. And it'll be interesting to see how that's actually used. I can actually define a preset number of tags so people can enter tags, but I'm going to just let it be freeform initially and see how that evolves. And they'll show up on the main index here too. You can see the ones I added. Homebrew is already there, and you can see Homebrew is a little darker than 5200 because it has more than one thread associated with it. Atari is one I just added. 2600 is one I just added. See, no results are found because it just added that thread, but that'll show up eventually. So view new content, the whole search system has changed quite a bit, and view new content, they've rolled into this whole new page. Now because there's been no content, it's content I have not read. I mean, I'm a new user, new since my last visit. That'll be that thread I just created, and this other this other thread that I posted in. But I can go the past week. I mean, I'm using a form database backup from about 4 days ago. So these are threads that I haven't read yet, and you can see, these ones that are highlighted here are ones that I haven't read. The icons are a little different. Again, you've got the preview here, so I can just preview it right away. And that particular thread only has one post in it. It's no replies, so I can look at another one. It's got 93 replies here. Why women are better than men. So here's the first post and last post, and I can click on these links also to go directly to those posts. I can mark it as read, go right to the topic. This little blue icon means there's posts in I haven't read. The star means I posted in it. The lock means the thread is locked. And there's a few other icons like that. And one thing you'll notice is it actually shows the photo of the person who posted next to each thread, and you'll see that used throughout. One thing they've done, they've actually, let me take a look at this thread I just started, is they actually, and this is probably not an example because this is the default, but they've gotten rid of avatars, and now you only have a one photo or profile photo, and that's used throughout the form instead of having multiple forms. So here's my profile. I just clicked on my icon there. This has been completely redone as well. So this image, which you can upload, is going to be used everywhere in the form. It'll be shrunk down, so people, if they have their avatars and they want to use that as their photo, that's fine. But it kind of encourages people to use some kind of representation of them as opposed to just some crazy avatar. Not that there's anything wrong with crazy avatars, but having two different images was a little confusing in the previous version of the software because it would sometimes use one image, sometimes use the other, and it just wasn't consistent. Anyway, so you can see the image is featured prominently here. My name. This is my normal user, my normal form account. I'm using this since there's just a lot of data in here. Here's my current status. I can add Albert as a friend, which just did it there. I can send a message and I can find Albert's content. Now this is just the overview. Profile feed is actually your status updates. So I can leave a message. Let's see. So this is kind of like basically everyone gets their own kind of personal thread, like a wall on Facebook sort of thing. And then you can actually see this is Albert, this is who actually sent, or this is me, and this is who I sent that to, the little icon there. Here's a couple that I put in yesterday, or in the last couple of days. And then other people who have posted on my wall in the profile, recently. Then friends, you can see all your friends on one page. It's a lot cleaner than before. And again, you can hover, on any of these just to take a look at a little bit of information, and then jump right to that user if you want, just by clicking their name or their image there. Topics, the most recent topics I've started. posts as before, blog entries, which I don't have any right here, gallery, I've got some. Here's one album from Austin, Texas. It took a long time ago. These are actually plugins that do not yet work with 3.2, so I'm not going to show you those. So going back to my profile here, or this profile, it's the overview. Let's see, is there anything else of interest? Not too much. I mean, this will be more interesting as people start to use it, and you can edit your, let's see, where's, oh, this is not my profile, so I can't edit it, so let me go to, and this menu has changed a bit. You can actually click on this at any time. You can update your status anywhere on the board and click update. You can look at your profile, your content, you manage your friends, go to your personal messenger, your settings, and then content you follow, which is kind of a new feature, and then manage ignore prefs, which lets you ignore users and other things. So I go to my profile, edit my profile, and then the photo, this has changed. I've changed the settings quite a bit. So I can upload a photo. Let me choose a photo, use a custom photo. You can use Gravatar as before. Let's see. This is all pinball stuff here. Tron Legacy, I don't know what this is. Yeah, that'll work. Adjust crop, and so I want that right there, and okay. And it looks like it has scaled it. Let's see. And yeah, oh, there it is right there. So that's fine. So now if I go look at my posts, I can go look at my content. Look at my content. And again, this will be a little faster here. Posts. See, it's not going to show me them because again, the search engine's not quite set up right here. So this is a test. So this is there's my new profile icon, or photo rather, and that'll show up everywhere that I've got content associated with me. So it makes it a lot easier at a glance to see, who actually posted a message if you're familiar with that person's image. Again, settings. I'll go back into settings here. So it's a lot of the same stuff as before. Nothing too ridiculous. You can choose a background for your profile as before, and background colors, tiled image, so you can customize that a little bit. Email, password, signature, ignore preferences, users that you're ignoring. You can ignore posts. You can ignore an individual user's post, signature, messages, or chat. Signature is kind of a new feature there as far as that goes, which is nice. So if someone's got an obnoxious signature you don't want to read every time you're viewing a thread that they've posted in, you can just ignore that. Facebook and Twitter, of course. Attachments, nothing special about that. Notification options, they've added more notifications. Notifications are just means that you're notified when things in the form happen. And you can get notifications, this notifications list up here. I don't have any right now because nobody's done anything that I would be notified for. For instance, if someone replies to one of my posts or quotes one of my posts or replies to my status update, you can choose to get notifications on the list up here, or by email, or via mobile app. They have a mobile app. They have a brand new Android app as well as an iPhone app, and you'll actually get a little pop-up on your phone if you choose to be notified of these things. Right now I don't have a few. I've only got a few. The defaults here, like when you get a new personal message, get an email, or someone replies to PM. Anyway, so you can explore these. It's really nice if you are not on the board very frequently and you want to be notified when something happens that you might be interested in. And this page, notifications, actually will list all the notifications. And again, I don't have any here. And then there's some settings for the gallery too. I could create a new gallery. Again, I'm a new user that I created just for this demo, so I don't actually have an album yet. Let's see, quick search. Okay, quad run. Help files. See, by default that was in the help files. I do not want that. I want to search for quad run in the forums. Now that was pretty fast. So basically by default here, it shows you the different content types. Forums, members, help files, which is now useful. Gallery, blogs, downloads, calendar, and pages. You're going to almost always be searching for forums. And again, you can sort by, in this case, last update time, the title, for whatever reason you want to sort these by the title. Number of replies, number of views, and then you can change the order to descending and ascending for each of those. Now you can also go to the advanced search, and then if I search for quad run, and I just want to search the forums, I want to search just the title, and then I can do search, and there's more options here. So this will, see, that didn't appear to have worked. So again, it's not completely 100% yet. Let me go back in here. Search in titles, well, I'm not going to keep showing you how it's broken. I search for 2600 tags. Yeah, see none of there. But anyway, and again, if you search for members, help files, gallery, there's different options that appear down here to make it search those items a little easier. Downloads, which isn't really enabled yet, but it will be soon. And then let's see. I showed that quick tag system. I've showed you UCP notifications, gallery. Okay, let me show you the gallery here. Now this gallery is completely different. It shows a random image at the top here. And you can also browse, but I'll get into that in a minute. So we can just look through some of these and find something interesting. Let's see. Atari stuff. Take a look at that. And this this user's posted 6 different images of Atari 8-bit stuff. So it's pretty fast. The interface is a lot better than before. You can click on an image, view a larger version of that image, click on it again to close. You can do a slideshow. Let's see. You can add comments. You can add, you can tweet, put in Facebook, Dig, etc., Reddit, report the image. You can follow images. Let's see. I might not have the slideshow enabled right here. So again, browsing images, you can upload images pretty easily. All sizes. Let's see. Large, medium. It's kind of like a little bit like Flickr for those of you who use Flickr there. So, which is nice. It makes it a lot easier to get to different size images. And you can sort these images by most recent, most viewed, most popular, most common. And oh, here's the slideshow up right here. So slideshow is pretty nice, and I don't know why that's tiny. That looks like a bug. There's a regular image, so you can just scroll through. You can also hit play, which will do it automatically after a certain amount of time. I'm not sure if there's comments. It would show the comments in here, but it's pretty nice. And then I'll go back to the main gallery here, and you can browse categories also, or browse through all the different albums. And this isn't a complete import yet because it doesn't have the categories set up right now. So right now these are just global and member albums. You can just look at member albums. Global albums are here's the categories that I had set up previously. Pets, and all sorts of all these pictures of people's pets. You look at individual, but it's pretty fast. It works pretty well. It's a lot faster than the other gallery. The interface is a lot nicer. All right, and then blogs, which I know a lot of you use. This has mostly just been updated to work with this version of the software, so 3.2. But again, they've added some things like there's a preview right there. Dashboard. This is their default kind of interface that shows the most recent blog entries. And you can scroll down. You can look at an individual blog here. Ignore the top here. I mean, this is not. It actually works fine, but I want to customize that a little bit. That one doesn't have comments. Let's go find a blog that's got a whole bunch of comments on it. Let's see if I can do that easily. 2 comments. There's 2. There's 4. So let's take a look at that one. And I clicked on the comments, so let's scroll right down to the comments. So this is a few comments on here, and you can quote. I can post a comment myself. Which of course that looks exactly like blog spam right there, and it appears right away, which is nice. And again, just like with the blogs, you can share these with on various social media sites, and I can add more to or email it in that case. I can follow a blog entry, which will show me anytime people post comments, which is nice. So I can follow that, and then again click on this, it'll show me followed by whomever. So, and I haven't actually played around with this too much. I mean, it certainly looks a lot better than what's on the forum at the moment. And you can see how this is. I read this. So it's changed. This color has changed from the light blue here to a white to make it obvious. Plus this icon, this icon's changed, and that is actually not the correct icon, but the blue is for ones I have not read yet. So here's Neo Tokyo's blog. I can look at his blog. This will show me all the entries in his blog, and then I can look at, let's see, the one comment here. So I can look at this Doctor Who entry. See what he's written here. All right. So again, want to show you one more thing here. So this view new content again, I don't have a lot of content to view, the normal view new content, but I can go like last 2 weeks. And one thing that's interesting here, that's showing blogs on the forums. Now what they've done here is it makes it really easy to narrow down what you're looking for. If you want to just look at threads you're following, you can click just items I follow. And since I'm not following anything, as far as forums go, it's not going to show you anything right now. Topics I participated in. And again, the reason these aren't showing up is I don't actually have the search engine set up where it's rebuilding the search index. So this is just from when I ran it last night. But topics you started, and these are toggles, some of these are toggles. So I can click on remove that, and now topics I started, and there's the one I started. And then you can, another nice feature just built in now is you can actually filter the search results by forms. So right now I'm showing all the results from all the forms, but I'm just interested in 2600 stuff. I can click on all these, and maybe I also want to see prototypes, and I want to see 2600 hacks, and I want to see the current events. So I save that. Now it'll show me only topic, basically on what I have here, any of this stuff. It'll only show me. Let's see, I don't care about that. It'll show me filter by forms, so you'll only see now forms, 2600 related stuff here, be Atari Basic, etc. And it'll remember that if I click on this again. It shows me, it remembers all the ones that I highlighted before, and I can click on this again to see everything. And now it redid the research results, and now it shows me everything. And so you've got the options: content I have not read, new since my last visit, past 24 hours, past week, past 2 weeks, month, 6, year. A lot of this was available before, but it's been condensed into one location, which is a lot nicer. So that's pretty much the view new content, and that gets rid of, there's no more active or last 24 or today's active topics. That was a link in the bottom before. That's all been worked into this. And again, you can preview, which is pretty nice, but which you couldn't do before, and hover on usernames, and I can jump right into thread by clicking on any time. Alright, I think that's pretty much it that I want to show today. And again, I've only played with this for about 24 hours myself, as far as having all the AtariAge content on it. And this will evolve over time. They're in beta 3 right now. They'll probably have a couple more betas before they release it, but it looks pretty solid. They're running it on their forum. Here's another example of something they've changed, the member list. They put all the letters here, so you can quickly go to a particular letter of the alphabet to see usernames that start with that letter on the side here, which is a lot cleaner. And of course the advanced search, if you really want to try to find somebody and you only remember like their location or some weird thing like that, or if you get too many results when you just search for it and see. I don't know how many people, yeah, that's not too bad. Anyway, so that's pretty much that. Oh, there's chat. The chat is in here as well, which I don't have a legitimate license for this copy of the forum because it's just a test forum. And the calendar has actually been completely revamped. It's much better. It looks much nicer than before. So I can look at today and 5 birthdays and week view. You can add events, of course. One thing that you can do, which I haven't played with, is you can create new events, and then you can actually invite people to that event. Say you're having a party, you want to have a local classic gaming gathering at your place some Saturday in August. You can create that event, and then you can actually invite people to that event, and people can accept or decline. So it's an interesting way to actually use the site here to try to organize things like that, as opposed to having to use some other site. Anyway, so I think I've gone on here for long enough. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the forum. Thank you.